Good morning. In the last lecture, we derived Lorentz transformations using the concept of invariance of velocity of light. While deriving these expressions, time in frame of reference S and frame of reference S prime are taken to be relative in Lorentz transformations. Time is not absolute. With these considerations and forming various equations according to the geometry and various assumptions we made, we got 4 Lorentz transformation equations. X prime is equal to x minus Vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Y dash is equal to y, z dash is equal to z, t dash is equal to t minus vx divided by c square whole divided by 1 minus square root of 1 minus v square by c square. These 4 equations we use further to write inverse Lorentz transformations. There x will be equal to x prime plus Vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Y is equal to y dash, z is equal to z dash, and t is equal to t dash plus v x dash by c square whole divided by 1 minus v square by c square. After completing Lorentz transformations, it is quite a big article. Let us move to the next article, and the next article is length contraction. To study length contraction, let us consider a simple figure. Let us consider this figure. This is frame of reference S. with coordinate axes x, y and z. O is the origin of this frame of reference. The second coordinate system S prime with coordinate axes x prime, y prime, z prime, origin O prime. Let us consider at the beginning at time t is equal to 0, frame of reference S and S prime both are coinciding. Frame of reference S and S prime both are coinciding, so that x prime will coincide x axis, y prime axis will coincide y axis, z prime axis will coincide z axis, O prime will coincide with origin O. At t is equal to 0, the second coordinate system S prime started moving with a constant velocity v along positive x direction. First frame of reference will be stationary, and now second frame of reference S prime is moving along positive x direction with constant velocity v. Let me further assume that we have a rod AB. We have a rod AB lying in the frame of reference S prime. So, when the rod AB is lying in the frame of reference S prime, AB will be stationary inside frame of reference S prime. S prime moving in the positive x direction with the constant velocity v, and therefore for the observer O in the frame of reference S, this rod AB is also moving with the constant velocity v away from the first frame of reference. There is no motion of second frame of reference along y direction and along z direction, and therefore according to Lagrange transformations, we always have y is equal to y prime and y prime is equal to y. Similarly, we will always have z is equal to z prime and z prime is equal to z, because there is no motion of frame of reference S prime along y direction or along z direction. Because of this reason, y coordinates in both frame of reference will be same, z coordinates in both frame of reference will be same, as noted by observer O in frame of reference S by observer O prime in frame of reference S prime. Now, the observer O prime watches the rod AB in the frame of reference S prime. For this observer O prime, the rod AB is stationary. For this observer O prime, the rod AB is stationary. This observer O prime observes the rod AB and notes coordinate of end A and coordinate of end B. The rod is parallel to x-axis and therefore length of the rod is along x-axis. So we have to consider only x coordinates of endpoints of rod A, endpoints of the rod A and B. There is no need to observe, there is no need to note the y coordinates and z coordinates of the end A or the end B. As the rod is along x-axis, observer O prime needed to note only x coordinates of end A and end B. And the coordinates noted by observer O prime for ends A and B are x1 prime and x2 prime. X coordinate of end A is x1 prime, x coordinate of end B is x2 prime, and therefore length of the rod AB as measured by the observer O prime will be equal to x2 prime minus x1 prime, and let this is L0 equation number 1. Length of the rod as measured by the observer O prime is L0 is equal to x2 prime minus x1 prime. The observer O in frame of reference S also observes the rod AB in the frame of reference S dash. In S dash it is stationary. For frame of reference S and for the observer O, rod AB is not stationary. Rod AB is moving away with constant velocity v from the frame of reference S. Rod AB is again parallel to x-axis of this coordinate system, and therefore to measure length of this rod, observer O also needs to note x coordinate of ends of rod AB, and he observes that x1 is x coordinate of end A, x2 is x coordinate of end B, and length of the rod AB as measured by observer O in frame S will be L is equal to x2 minus x1 equation number 2. Length of the rod AB as measured by the observer O is L is equal to x2 minus x1 equation number 2, where x1 is x coordinate of end A, x2 is x coordinate of end B. Length L0 is noted by observer O dash in frame of reference S dash. Length L is measured by observer O in frame of reference S. We want to see relation between this L and this L0. L0, length measured by O prime of the rod lying in the same frame of reference. L, length measured by the observer O in frame of reference S for the rod which is moving with constant velocity v away from the frame of reference. Yes, we want to have a relation between these two lengths which are measured by the observers O prime and O. To get relation between these two, let me write Lorentz transformation equations for x coordinates. In general, x prime is equal to x minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square, equation number 3. This for x1 prime will be equal to x1 minus vt divided by 1 minus v square divided by c square, equation number 4, and this is for the second coordinate. X2 prime is equal to x2 minus vt divided by 1 minus v square divided by c square, equation number 5. L0 is x2 minus x1 dash. So, let us get x2 minus x1 dash using equations 4 and 5. Subtract equation 4 from equation 5. Subtract equation 4 from equation 5. If we subtract equation 4 from equation 5, we will have here x2 prime minus x1 prime is equal to x2 minus vt divided by 1 minus v square by c square minus x1 minus vt divided by 1 minus v square by c square in the square root. Denominator of this term and this term is same, and therefore we may write this as L0 is equal to x2 minus vt minus x1 plus vt divided by 1 minus v square by c square inside the square root. Minus vt plus vt identically cancels out because both are same and opposite to each other, and so we have here L0 is equal to so what left here is L0 is equal to x2 minus x1 divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. But what is x2 minus x1 from equation, where is it? From equation 2, it is L. So let us put L for x2 minus x1, and so this equation further becomes L0 is equal to L divided by 1 minus v square by c square inside the square root, equation number 6. Let us have a look into equation 6. 1. Unity. V. constant velocity with which the frame of reference S dash moving along x axis, c velocity of light. V is much smaller than the velocity of light c, and so this 1 minus v square by c square will be a fraction. 1 minus v square by c square will be a fraction. Square root of a fraction will be a fraction. L is equal to L0 is equal to L divided by fraction. If it is 0.1, 1 divided by 0.1 is 10. If it is 0.2, what will be this? 5. So whenever we have a fraction here, corresponding term in the numerator will be larger than 1. Whenever we have a fraction in the denominator, corresponding term coming in the numerator will be greater than 1. It means that when this L is multiplied by a number greater than 1, when this L is multiplied by a number greater than 1, then this L becomes equal to L0. Dividing by a fraction is nothing but multiplying by a number more than 1. Dividing by a fraction meaning multiplying by a number more than 1. It means that to make this L equal to L0, we have to multiply L by a number greater than 1. What does this mean? It means that this L is smaller than L0. Meaning of this is length L is smaller than length L0, equation number 7. Meaning of this is length L smaller than length L0. What is L0? Length of the rod measured by the observer O prime in the frame of reference S dash in which the rod AB is stationary. What is L? L is length measured by the observer O in the stationary frame of reference when the rod, actually the frame of reference containing the rod, is moving away from the observer O with constant velocity v. What does this mean? It means that if we are observing any object moving away from us, for us the length of that object is decreasing. Length of that object is decreasing continuously. We are stationary, we are observer. One object is moving away from us. As the observer is moving away from us, and if we observe length of the object, we find that length of the object is decreasing continuously. For the stationary observer. This is known as length contraction. But if the observer in the frame of reference in which the rod is lying, in which the object is lying, if that observer watches the rod, watches the object, for that observer the length is not changing, the length is remaining same. But if a stationary observer is observing any object moving away from it. What the stationary observer watches, what the stationary observer finds, the stationary observer finds that length of the object moving away from the stationary observer is decreasing continuously. This is phenomena of relativity. This phenomena of relativity is such that for any stationary observer, objects moving away from the observer seems to contract in length, and this phenomena of relativity is known as length contraction. So this is about length contraction, very important phenomena of relativity. Let me tell you one example. Let us suppose that you are at the railway station and you are on the bridge, flyover made to cross the rails, and one railway has departure from this station, and from that flyover you are watching the railway moving away from you. If you continuously watch the railway moving away from you from the flyover, you will find that length of the railway is decreasing continuously. As the railway is going more and more away from you, length of the railway is decreasing more and more and more. This is the effect of relativity. The same thing is studied in this article. So this is what about the length contraction. Hope you got it. Thank you.